Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to this session of Certified Ethical Hacking course by One Byte Labs. I hope you are able to hear me and able to see the screen. Kindly let me know in the live chat. Live chat is enabled for every one of you. Okay, so let me know first of all how many of you are attending this session for the first time. Okay, so basically this is our third session. The first session we had an intro, and the second also is a kind of intro. So today what we'll do is we will be summarizing what we have discussed in the last two sessions, for which the recording is also available in the Telegram channel. Okay, so basically we have discussed about the introduction to ethical hacking. What exactly is ethical hacking, how it is done, like the overview theoretically, what are different phases of hacking. We have discussed about the 20 modules of CEH which we'll be going to cover in this live sessions, 6 days of live sessions. Now we'll start with the first module here, which is introduction to ethical hacking. Yesterday we discussed about different kinds of things you need to take care as an ethical hacker, legally as well as illegally. So yesterday we discussed about phases of hacking and the 20 modules of CEH V10 and 11. So the first module was introduction to ethical hacking, in which yesterday we learned about the trends, the security trends which the hacker and the ethical hacker needs to be updated on. Suppose if there is a kind of project you got to add some extra layers of security to a particular ABC company to protect from following attacks, and you don't even know about the particular attack, that what kind of attack it is, how it is done, what kind of programming is used in that attack. So if you don't know how the attack happened and how it is exactly working, you won't be able to resolve that. So as you know, yesterday we discussed about something like, if you want to learn hacking, if you want to learn ethical hacking, you need to learn hacking first, because in order to catch a hacker you need to think like a hacker. So everything we learn here will be based on pure hacking, which you need to use for legal purposes. So let's directly jump into the second module. Yesterday we completed the first module, the overviews and all. So today we'll jump into the second module, where I will show you some practicals. Okay, so this module will be about the first phase of hacking, that is information gathering. And also we'll be having one small project, one small assignment of 5 to 10 minutes in this session only, for which you don't have to do anything. You just need to have a Facebook account, that's it. There will be some assignment which I will give everyone, which I will give to every one of you, which you need to perform on Facebook. Okay, from information gathering. Now let's understand what exactly is information gathering. This is the first phase of hacking, where hacker needs to gather information about the target. Suppose there is a target, Vivek. Vivek works in ABC company as a business development manager. So, or let's take example of accounts manager. So Vivek will be obviously having all the data about the financial and the accounts, right? So suppose if there is a hacker, and the hacker wants to hack Vivek. So first of all, the hacker needs to have proper information on Vivek. where exactly he sits in the office, what exactly what kind of the PC or laptop he uses, where he stays normally, what's the location, what broadband he uses, what kind of model smartphone he uses, is broadband or ISP internet. Now, after gathering all the information about Vivek, we'll try to gather more information from the social media platforms. So these are different ways. I'm just giving an overview. So with the help of different techniques, you can gather information about your target. So today we'll discuss about the open source directories available online using which we can gather information. So this is our first phase to learn how hacking is done. That is information gathering. So let's start gathering information. I will just show you a few of these steps. Okay, it's just 10 to 15% of information gathering using internet. Okay, after that there will be different softwares for Windows and Linux which you can use to uh, perform the same information gathering activities. Okay, so I'm sharing the whole screen. Just wait for a moment. Okay, so basically first thing is, those who didn't yet those who didn't attended yesterday's session, yesterday I showed one website known as Have I Been Pwned. This website is a directory of all the hacking activities happened all over the globe with all the companies. And if you want to check whether your data, whether your email or phone number is also available in one of those data breaches or not, then you can search here. Like this is my email ID, which I have used on lots of websites. So now suppose I want to check out whether my email is compromised or not, then I can just search here on Have I Been Pwned. And I see that there are 11 data breaches happened in which my email address has been found. Like 000 web host, Canva, Cache Crate, this one, Digimon, Domino's, Gravita, IndiaMart, Nitro, Sheen, Zoomka. What are these? Are basically, these are the companies where I have registered sometime, and they met an hacking activity of data breach where they lost millions of users, customers' data, and in those data, my email address was also there. So I remember all the activities. Yes, I signed up for Zoomcar. They got hacked in 2018. I signed up on Sheen and they also got hacked in 2018. I also signed up on IndiaMart and Domino's. I remember fresh because it happened in 2021 only. 13 TB of compromised Indian users' data like email addresses, names, phone numbers, physical addresses, and purchase history was leaked. Where? On dark web, obviously. So that was the kind of tool which I discussed yesterday. Now let's start with the information gathering tools. Let's take example of a website. Suppose okay, so this is a website which is generally meant for testing purposes. So basically, this website we can use without any issues for testing and all. So certifiedhacker.com. This is the website. So whenever we want to access a website, what we do is we type the domain name or we search on Google. Right? So how these things happens basically. So pay attention. So how it happens basically is, once someone enters the domain name google.com, it resolves to a IP address. An IP address is something which looks like this. So what is an IP address? An IP address is the address of the particular system which is there on the network. Okay, so people can't remember IP addresses, so they use domain names. But anyhow, the actual address of the website on the internet is used via this location, this address 192.168.1.0 or whatever IP address it is. But there is something known as DNS, domain name systems. It is a kind of record of all the configurations of the website, which holds the configurations for the particular server, like google.com. When once someone browses google.com, it resolves to IP address, it is handled by DNS. Once someone sends a mail on Gmail, so Gmail is also by Google, so Gmail will be having a DNS record known as MX record. So just like this, on a server, on a website, on a target or whatever system you are targeting, they will be having a DNS record, a IP address, a domain name, then different DNS details, mail server details, okay, a name server details. So all these things are present in the DNS, and DNS helps us get more information about the server or the target. So let's take example of certifiedhacker.com. So certifiedhacker.com is our target. So first of all, I want to find out the IP address of certifiedhacker.com. This is very, very easy. Let me know from your side, every one of you, how to find the IP address of this website, certifiedhacker.com, what to do. Let me know in the live chat quickly. Ping, yes. So we will be doing ping command, okay? So what to do is, you can use terminal, okay? In Windows, in Linux, in Mac OS, basically the terminal is same, and type a command, ping, followed by the domain name. So this starts pinging the server, and in response, it shows the IP address. So what exactly is this? What is the use of ping command exactly? Anyone? Stop that. Yeah, sorry. So what is the actual use of ping command? Yes. So basically, this ping command checks basically whether the website is live or not, whether the system is live or not. So pinging means pinging the server to check whether it's alive or not. And this is the common way of showing the response with the number of bytes of data receiving from the address, which shows generally the IP address, and some TTL rates and time frames. So basically, this gives us the IP address. Once we have the IP address, we know that this domain is having this IP address, so we can perform the scanning and all. Basically, with the help of domain name, also we can do scanning, because nowadays all the tools and softwares are automatically resolving the domain name to IP address and IP address to the following details. So suppose if you want to gather some information about certifiedhacker.com, then the first thing we should do is to check DNS records. There's a website known as DNS checker. And before that, we need to do whois lookup. Whois lookup is done for the websites. You can just give the domain name, and whatever information is related to the domain, you can get directly. Who owns the domain, when the domain has been purchased, when it is going to expire. So suppose this website. So here we see that this is the registrar of the domain, the network solutions. This is the name server. So it means it is hosted on Bluehost. This is 7,000 days old. It was created in 2002. It was created in 2002, expires in 2023, and was last updated in 2022. So this is the tech contact, this is the email address, this is the IP location where it is hosted, where from where it is purchased. United States. 13 IP addresses got changed in last 16 years, so it's not frequent that they change the IP address. That's it. So the whois information just gives some basic information about the domain owner. So we didn't get that much of information here. So let's check the DNS checker. Now here we'll just give the website name, and there are different types of DNS records. A record, AAA record, CNAME record, MX record, NS record, PTR record, SRV record, SOA record, TXT record, CA record, DS record, DNS key record. So what are these records? Are basically they contains different server configurations. Like A is for the IP address. AAA is for IPv version 6 address. So there are two versions of IP address, IPv4 and IPv6. The only difference is that the format of IP address 6 will be different and will be having more bytes, you can say. Okay, so if we check for the A record, just give me a moment. What is the difference between IPv4 and 6? Okay, the main difference between IPv4 and 6 is the address size. Now, if you type the IPv4 address, it looks like 192.168 and so on, like this. But this same thing, now this IP address 192.168.64.2, this is known as IPv4 address, and this is a 32-bit address. So this is a 32-bit address. And if you use a IPv6 address, it generally looks like this kind of, say, kind of alphanumeric. Type it for you. 2001 db8 : f, something like this. So it is basically a IPv6 address, and it is a 128-bit hexadecimal address. So IPv4 is 32-bit address, IPv6 is 128-bit hexadecimal address. So that is a difference. Now, some websites uses IPv6, some don't, some doesn't uses IPv6. So it's all matter of preference. Now, if I check for the DNS record here, for the A record, for the certified hacker, and if I click on search, you see the results here. It shows the server is getting resolved from all the different part of the world. Green tick means it is resolving. Sorry. So basically, this is the A record where we see the IP address. AAA record also, you can see they don't have any IPv6 address. CNAME is the canonical name, canonical address. So it contains some few more information about the server. MX is for the mail server. What mail server they are using, you can see from here. So they're having default mail server. Name server is the name server which is used for pointing a website to the particular server or hosting or wherever the server is located. So it is getting hosted on Bluehost. So what happens basically, once you purchase a domain, you need to buy hosting, and to point your domain to the hosting, you need to point it via IP address, but it is not possible directly. So you need to use something known as NS, name server. This is given by the hosting providers like bluehost.com. Bluehost.com is a hosting provider who offers different kind of hosting services based on different prices and all. So if you purchase an account on Bluehost, and if you purchase domain on some other platform or on Bluehost only, you need to point your Bluehost domain to the name servers given by your hosting providers. Just like that, we have PTR record, SRV record, SOA record. I will explain every record one by one. TXT record is used for different kinds of verifications. Like suppose if you want to connect your domain to Google Analytics, so Google needs to verify your domain authority. So they will be sharing you some TXT record which you need to put in your DNS settings. Same way, if you want to use Gmail for your company, for your private domain, you need to use G Suite by Google, and to use a G Suite account, you need to verify the domain authority, and for that you need to insert a TXT record. So like that. So so for verification purposes and for lots of different configurations, DNS is used. So this is how we get few more information about the DNS of the website. Now, after who is DNS checker, the next one is built with. What is built with? It's a technology lookup tool which helps to find out the different technologies used to build the website. Suppose if you want to know about Netflix, that what technologies are used in making Netflix, the technologies. So here you say the analytics tracking, they are using Fireblade, Google Analytics. For widgets, they're using these kind of widgets. For frameworks, they use these frameworks: Java, Perl. Payments, content management, they are using Salesforce. JavaScript libraries, they have some Facebook pixels integrated. Advertising, they have this kind of things. Email hosting, they're using Amazon, MailChimp, and G Suite. Web hosting, they are doing on AWS. AWS stands for Amazon Web Servers, which is a hosting service hosting service given by Amazon. AWS is world's biggest internet company. So they're using Amazon, Virginia region instance, Oregon region instance, Ireland instance. So basically, these are some deep information which we can gather about a website. So I will jump directly deep into all these things also once we start using some tools for gathering some same information. I'm just giving you some overviews of how it is exactly done. And the name servers, SSL certificates, web server, they're using Apache and also these kind of things. And they have IPv6 also. Let's verify this. So Netflix AA record. Let's see if they have IPv6 address. So yeah, they do have IPv6 address. They're having 3 IPv6 addresses, and it looks like this. So I guess if they're having 3 IPv6, so they will be having 3 IPv4 also. Yes. So this is how they are using the IPv6 also. So this is the technology lookup of any website. You can check it here. If you want some deep information about the technology they use to build a website. Okay. The last one is not the last, second last. A Wayback machine. Now, sometimes developers does a lot of lot of mistakes. Like suppose some content published on a website which was not supposed to be published, but still it is published. Well, the editor can delete the post, but still it was available for milliseconds on the internet, right? In between that millisecond, some user could have copied the content and published it on different platforms. Suppose some website made some comment about someone which was wrong and they deleted it, but someone took the screenshot and published it somewhere. But not all the time. Sometimes it was impossible to capture the particular content which was deleted. So this Wayback Machine is a software which is a archive, which is a database of all the websites screenshots, kind of archived from different years, dates, and months. For example, before showing some example of Wayback Machine, let me know what was the first name of Facebook.com. When Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook in 2004, what was the first name of Facebook? Well, it's a common answer, but still let me check how many of you know that, because it is related to the practical example I will show you right now. No one? Okay. So earlier Facebook was known as thefacebook.com. It was not facebook.com, it was thefacebook.com. So now if I search for facebook.com here, and if I want to check how Facebook looks like at a certain period of time, so we have these kind of snapshots available. Let's check from 2010. Let's check from Feb 18. We have 25 snapshots. So let's see how Facebook was in 2010. So it's having some error. Let's see some other dates. So this is how Facebook looked like in 2010. If you remember, Facebook was like this, but now it is totally different, right? Just like that, let's go back and let's see how Facebook looked like when it was launched. So as I told you, in 2004, Facebook was launched, but you don't know that the domain was the facebook.com. So you cannot check the actual version. So suppose if you open this snapshot, so it will show a snapshot, but not of Facebook. Earlier, facebook.com was owned by some other company, which looks like this. This was facebook.com in 2004. When Mark Zuckerberg started the facebook.com, he renamed it to facebook.com and bought this facebook.com domain in 2006. Okay. Now, let's see how it looked like exactly in 2004. So we will search for thefacebook.com. Thefacebook.com. And yes, 2004, we have lots of screenshots. Let's start from June. In June, we have one. July, we have one snapshot, 3 snapshots. Let's see how it looked like when it was launched in 2004. So this is how it looked like in 2004. Okay, the first look of the Facebook. Okay, it was not the first look. I think it is then launched in different this one. We can go back and we can check some screenshots from the beginning. February 12. Let's see this one. This is the first version of the Facebook. So this tool is very, very useful to see archive versions of the website if you want to check about some sensitive information which might have been published on the website, which might be very, very useful for a hacker. That was a Wayback Machine. And the last is OSINT framework. So what is this basically is, OSINT stands for Open Source Information Gathering Tool, or kind of framework, which looks like this. It is the whole database of information gathering softwares and tools for different categories. If you want to search some usernames, if you want to search email addresses online, if you want to search domain names online, if you want to search datings online, if you want to search metadatas online, if you want to search tools online or documentations, public records, if you want to search about some person, you can search on these public records, tools, forums, archives. So a lot of things are there. I just opened it all, so it looks like this. So basically, this OSINT framework you can use for information gathering. So combining all these tools, all these platforms, you can gather a lot of information about your target. So this is the first phase. Now, what we'll do is we'll be using Kali Linux, VMware, Virtual Machine Player, and few other softwares to set up our own hacking environment. Now we have used the websites to find out information. Now we'll jump to use softwares based on Windows and Linux to do the same thing here. Okay, so this will do in the next session, but let me know if you have any doubts, any questions till now in this session. If anyone having any questions here, you can ask regarding the topics we discussed right now. Anyhow, the recordings will be available, will be uploaded. So you can go through the recording and also can perform the same thing which we have done today. Okay. Tomorrow we'll install all the prerequisite softwares, VMware setups I will show you. Also, I will share the pre-recordings of the tutorial, how to set up the environment, and then we'll start the practical of the information gathering. So no doubts. Well, so that is it then for today's session, everyone. If you have some doubts, you can ask me, or else that is it for today's session. Okay, then that's it for today's session, everyone. If you don't have any questions, you can now leave the class and have a good day ahead. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you.